Effective leaders innovate. They have fresh insights. They find novel paths forward, solve difficult problems, formulate innovative ideas. But there is a barrier in the workplace that gets in the way of innovation. We are seeing this now more than ever before. Luckily, there is a simple way to overcome it. It's not easy, but it's simple. And that's what we're going to explore right now. We're going to tackle this in 3 steps. The conditions needed for innovation to occur, the science behind why this happens, and a practical takeaway that hopefully you can implement immediately. There are a number of moments in Western scientific history which are famous for being moments of insight and innovation, moments of breakthrough. In innovation programs that we run, when I ask groups if they can think of any of these moments, they usually think of 2. The first is Isaac Newton and the apple falling from the tree. Newton is actually quoted as saying that it was from thinking about the falling apple that he formulated the law of universal gravitation. I just realized, universal law of gravitation, I don't even know what that is. So let's try. Oh my God.
OMG.
I just realized every particle in the universe is attracted to every other particle in the universe with a force directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between their centers. It's amazing. It actually works. The second example usually comes up when someone vaguely says, there's that guy getting out of a bath in ancient Greece. They are, of course, thinking of Archimedes, who, upon seeing the water level rise in his bath, had a moment of insight about displacement and density, and was so excited he jumped out of the bath, ran out of his house, ran down the street naked, yelling, "Eureka! Eureka!" which means I found it, or I've got it. Which does actually make me think, next time I see a naked guy running down the street, try not to judge too quickly. I usually yell out, "Come on, Dad!" So stupid. Oh, so my dad sees this. He told me not to tell anyone. These examples I've just given, Newton, Archimedes, are very telling, but not for the usual reason that they're recounted. Notice what they were doing when they had their innovative breakthroughs. It is not a coincidence that Archimedes was relaxing alone in a bath, or that Isaac Newton was alone watching an apple fall in a peaceful orchard. With Newton, this observation goes even further. Newton's apple incident occurred within a 1 to 2 year period from 1665 to 1666. In this year, he not only formulated the universal law of gravitation, but also the laws of motion, which combined revolutionized our understanding of the mechanics of the universe. In optics, he discovered the true composition of white light. And in mathematics, he invented calculus. As you do. What a nutcase, honestly. Imagine if he had Netflix. He wouldn't have invented any of those things. This was the most fruitful year, not just of his life, but of any person in Western scientific history. This was the year dubbed Annus Mirabilis, translated as the marvelous year or the year of miracles. And what was special about this year? Well, there was a pandemic. Not COVID, but the bubonic plague. And so Newton, freed up from his busy life at the University of Cambridge, which was closed, was in lockdown, alone in a country manor house. It was here that he had all these breakthroughs. You know what? This sort of reminds me of my pandemic year. Do you know what I discovered? I discovered how to put on weight really quickly in a 2-month period. Before, after. No Nobel Prize. No Nobel Prize, unfortunately. Moving along. So let's look at the science. In both these examples, Archimedes and Newton had the time, space, and freedom to think. Most of us relate to this. Going for a walk, having a bath or shower, quietly cooking, sitting in the sun, or just being on holidays. Ideas can just arrive. Solutions just come. Dots connect. These moments are notable for what is not happening. No video conference calls, emails, managing people, no hyper-focusing on a task. If we're at home, these moments occur when there are no screens, no Netflix, podcasts, or even interaction with other people, like kids. So what is going on here? We know from neuroscience research that people people often have insights when they are not working on a problem directly. What happens is they work really hard on a problem and they make progress, but eventually they hit an impasse. They get stuck, which means eventually they give up on the problem or they pause it, either momentarily or for an extended period of time. And it is in this time when they least expect it that an idea will spontaneously arise. As a side note, neuroscientists have found that rush of excitement you get when you have an insight or a breakthrough is actually caused by an influx of dopamine into a part of the brain known as the nucleus accumbens. Insights are apparently so exciting and motivating that they can motivate you to run down the street naked, just like Archimedes and my dad. All right, Dad, let's go to the practical takeaways. If the number one barrier to leaders innovating is the time and space to think, then the takeaway is pretty obvious and simple, but it is not easy. We need to say no. We need to carve out time in the calendar without meetings, without screens, without people, and without 50 different tasks that we're working on. If organizations are to solve their most difficult problems and find innovative paths forward, then leaders have to take the lead. Carving out this time and space to think is a vital first step. It might not seem easy. In fact, depending on your circumstances, this might seem nigh impossible. But if you don't do it, who will? I'll see you in the next one.